Hey everyone! Excuse me. Let's take that again. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone! Welcome back to my 7 Days to Die Let's Play. And we are back at the work site, and we're about to start our weekly work schedule again. And let's just kick off. Actually, let's do this. I'm just going to keep on continuing to build my chimney. And since the last episode, I've gone around and I've actually made some... I went around and was actually cutting down trees. And I was cutting down trees just so I can get a lot of wood so we can actually get this place moving. And I'm thinking about, at this point, I think we're getting to a point where we can actually start... Did I just... Wait, did I put this here? Yes. Start moving into this place. Well, granted, it's not exactly the nicest looking house in the neighborhood, but it's getting to the point where it's almost livable. We'll have the first floor all set up, and then we'll be able to live there sort of indefinitely. But before we do anything like that, of course, we got to finish the roof and everything. So it's kind of a late start. You can see it's 7:30, so it's 7:30, so that's 5:30. 5:30 in game time. And also what I did bring here too, let's see, I brought a metal door. That's right. Let's add this guy right there. Okay, maybe not. This is my fear. This was my fear that wait a minute. This is too high? What's going on here? Why aren't you able to be placed? Alright, I'm going to have to look into that and see what's going on here. Because that's kind of irritating. Alright, we'll try it like this. I tried placing one of these doors before, too. Ah, don't want to do that. Alright, right click. Right click. Right click does nothing. Don't tell me I have to cut this thing down. Alright, I'll take a look at this a little bit later. And I also brought some tallow so we can start making some candles, start making this place look a little nice for a change. Down here, just so that we can see. We'll craft those, and we're going to put this over here. So I've been using the hunting rifle now and then, and I just want to say that the hunting rifle is pretty terrible. I've been watching a bunch of Let's Players, you know, play this game, and they've always avoided it. And I figured, you know, it's kind of cool. I like the fact that it takes a while to load and stuff. But it turns out that it's really kind of useless. And the reason it is, I'm looking for my nail gun, by the way. There it is. And the reason it's kind of useless is that, oh, jeez, too much. Too many. We'll move this over here. Is that it makes a lot of noise, it's really slow to reload, and I end up attracting a lot more attention to myself. It's not very good. And the fact that the reloading time is a little bit slow and sluggish, and then I have to aim down the sights, and the sights aren't that good with it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I was very disappointed with it. So it's kind of weird to think this way, but I'm kind of thinking that the crossbow is kind of one of the best weapons in this game, which is strange. That's like your entry-level weapon. But, you know, because you fire it, it doesn't make any sound. Finding ammo for it is incredibly easy. So, yeah. So, I'm going to be getting a little more crossbow heavy. Alright, I'm going to get a little scared here. I don't want this thing to fall on my face. Ah, excellent. It's all coming together. Alright, let's set up this next post here. Of course, these posts... I'm a little nervous about these posts, to tell you the truth, because if I ever get a zombie down here and that zombie takes out that post, then I'm going to be losing a huge section of my house. And I'm wondering if I should sort of protect them somehow. I don't really know how. Here, we'll put that there. Oh, man, I hate this. Alright, I'll jump up here. There we go. Alright, let's take this down. The other thing I did off camera is I started collecting wood and making barn wood. because I thought barnwood might be make for a really nice interior looking of my base, or sort of the exterior of the walls. So you can see here, I have 54 right now. I have 60, so I have about 100 barnwood. And I've actually been rethinking this quite a bit. The problem with barnwood, and actually I can demonstrate it to you right here. Let's take this barnwood here. So this is going to be the interior of my cabin. So here it is. So that's barnwood right here. I think, you know, it's different from the regular wood. I don't think it looks great and all, but it looks different and a little bit better. I shouldn't say better, it just looks different. So I'm going to make the interior of this. So here I'm going to chop it down like so. Boom, it's gone. Okay, so that provides a big problem. When I get a whole bunch of zombies outside my door, they'll be able to break through it in no time. And that's not cool at all. They'll be able to plow through my house in no time. And since I'm taking a policy of not using the wooden spikes, that's going to create a massive problem. They'll quickly be able to... I mean, I'm going to have a moat in front of my house, but they're going to quickly be able to... Oh, jeez. Give me that. Quickly be able to come into my house and cause all sorts of shenanigans. So, I've decided what I'm going to do is make a mess. Is to actually build barnwood on the inside and regular frames on the outside. Because the regular frames are great in regards that you have to break them down in stages. So, you know, you break it down into the wood frame and then you break it down into, or you break it, yeah, you've seen how it works many times. So I'm going to put the 2 layers outside the house of using wood frames. And then inside it's going to be all barnwood. So if they get through sort of the shell of the house, the house's armor, then I'll be in trouble. And as you can see, I'm accidentally refortifying the stuff here. So this is looking good. And you know something? Let's put this in place too. There's not going to be any murder holes in the chimney. The murder holes are just designed for the lower levels. So in the basement, if I'm trapped in the basement, I can see exactly what's going on. Alright. This is coming along nicely. Alright, what I'm going to do, we're going to lay this cement here. And actually, I'm going to hold on that. And I'm going to head back to my house. And then I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of other things, too. So that, you know, we're going to start moving over here. So, let me see. Do I have this? So, okay. So this is going to be the shell right here. No. Maybe what I'm going to do... Yeah, I have to figure out how much space I have. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video now. I'm going to head back to my temporary home. And hopefully before it gets dark. And then I'll come back in the worksite in the morning. See you then. Hey everyone, welcome back. Look what I did. I placed the door. Literally 2 seconds before I was recording, I was just trying to troubleshoot. I went back to my base, and I have a bunch of these doors, so I placed one in my base, and I was like, what is going on here? So I tried placing it again, it didn't work. I tried placing it again. Maybe it was the position I was placed in, but I looked down on the ground here, and finally I just pressed the mouse button and it placed. I did not expect that at all. So here's our basement door. Awesome. And now what we need to do is create some ladders, because right now I was playing a game of Hunt the Zombie, and I'm sure... Oh, I need some sticks. Hunt the Zombies when, you know, you're playing and some zombie aggroes you. Let's not do that many. And you don't know where the zombie has aggroed you. So what I like to do is find a spot of high ground and then just... excuse me. And then just sort of look around and wait until some zombie comes into range. And the problem is the sound, of course, makes it sound like the zombie is everywhere. So, oh, do I need more of these? Yeah, I do. So it kind of drives me a little nuts. You know, I'll hear a zombie walking behind me, and I'll look behind me, and there's nothing. I'll look to the left, look to the right. Of course, the zombie knows exactly where you are. And it usually takes a few minutes for me to play that game out. So I was playing that, and yeah, not very fun. I forget what my original point was. All right, we're going up, and we're going to cement these, and we're going to put a trapdoor here. Oh, so I ran down in here, and I found myself unable to get back up because I had floored over my original exit point. So now with these things here in place, what's this? Goldenrod tea. That's right, I just threw that. Let's see, what don't we need anymore? We have an empty jar here. Man, you know what I need to do? Let's build our first chest in the new house. And this is going to be, we'll throw that. And this is going to be a temporary chest. I think I'm going to build, you know, those special chests that they have that you can label them as storage and health items and so forth. So let's just put the stuff we're not using right now. Oh, we can consolidate that. And I've been trying to pick up some feathers on the way too, so I can build up my supply. What I am realizing is I'm getting really low on food, and this is not a good thing. So I realize we're gonna have to make a trip soon, probably to one of the cities, and I want to pick up a bunch of paper, and I want to pick up well, actually, a city's not going to work. I'm going to have to do just a hunting trip to just restock all my supplies. And what I'll do is keep all my new supplies. All the new food will be here, as opposed to the old place. So what I also would like to do is find a refrigerator. I don't know if you can find those or make those, so I'll have to look into that. All right, let's come back here and let's continue building our floor. And as you can see, I accidentally upgraded this. I'm going to fully upgrade this whole thing soon. All right, I'm getting a little concerned here. Let's add another thingamabob. So in other news, Nintendo released some interesting information. And if you're a Let's Player, I'm sure you've been following along. If you're not, well, check it out. Nintendo has basically, they don't really like the idea of Let's Plays. Or they don't like the idea of people producing Let's Plays off their video games and making money off of it. So basically monetization is what their big issue is. They own the content, they own the game and the copyright, and they don't like people making money off of it. You know, they have no problem with you Let's Playing a Nintendo game without making money, but they do have a problem when you are making money. So not too long ago, Nintendo kind of did this sort of, heavy-handed move of taking people's revenue away. I believe. I wasn't really paying that much attention to it at the time because I wasn't doing any Let's Plays. So that angered a lot of people, and I think Nintendo realized that wasn't the right strategy. So Nintendo has recently released their latest policy, or their content creation policy now. And it's a real doozy, and it's pretty much going to guarantee that no one Let's Plays Nintendo anymore. So I don't know if that's their intent or not. Oh. Have a flower. This is like the worst place to look for it. So what their new policy states is that they're going to allow you to Let's Play Nintendo content. You can Let's Play for free if you're not monetizing it. They don't really care. So they're happy if you don't monetize it. But if you do enable monetization on your channel, then what you have to do is send... Oh, it didn't line up perfect. Ah, look at that. All right, let's try this, because that's gonna kill me. I mean, I'm literally gonna keel over and die if these aren't centered up. So the way Nintendo's policy works is you have to apply to be, I think, part of this program. And then once you do a Nintendo video and you want to monetize it, you have to submit that video to Nintendo, and they're going to review it. And if they like what they see, they're going to allow you to monetize that video. In reviewing policies, I think it's I want to say it's a couple days is what they're saying. So then, once you've been appropriately reviewed by Nintendo, they like what you've seen, then you can publish that and you can get monetization of it. But here's the fun part. Is Nintendo is going to take, they're going to take 30%, I think it's 30% of your gross, or of the money you make after YouTube takes their cut. So essentially, they will be making money off of your content. And that's kind of, you know, that's, I don't know how to say it. That's really shady, in my opinion. You know, making these videos takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and making videos that people want to watch, you know, is hard. It's really hard. I didn't know. You got to really love this to do this. And to have someone come in and take your revenue off of that, well, that doesn't really sit right with me. Now, you can make the argument that, well, Nintendo owns the copyright of the games. And that's true. They do. That's not arguing that. And but I guess the basic thing is that I don't think Nintendo sees any value in what Let's Players do. I play a game like this. You may be interested in it, and if you watch a lot of 7 Days to Die streams, you're probably going to buy it. Because, especially if you watch them repeatedly. So, there's a lot of marketing going on that the Let's Players are doing for these companies. But where it gets kind of like also dicey is that the idea that Nintendo is also... Oh, jeez, I need some wood planks. Nintendo is also getting into the role of sort of reviewing, vetting your work. So let's say I make a video that's critical of Nintendo. Let's say I don't like their game, or as is the case, well, actually Nintendo's been very good in this department of not releasing shoddy products like, say, everyone else has been. But let's say they did. And I wrote this review saying, wow, this game, Nintendo did a terrible... Oh, see, now we're playing Hunt the Zombie again. Come on, buddy. Where are you? You know, this game wouldn't be so bad if the sound engine wasn't so bad. And I am guessing that they're using Unity's built-in sound engine. I would guess. Anyways, he's going to get to us sooner than later. Let's put the onus on him. Ah, man, you're irritating. Irritating. I'm trying to do some work here. So anyways, so Nintendo is doing this thing where now they're entering an editorial part of their, you know, so they're going to review your stuff. If they don't like what you're saying, they can say, for any reason, hey, we don't like it. We're not going to approve this content. Now, I guess you can still release it as long as you don't put monetization on that. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, so look at this. Look at this, everyone. We got a bona fide floor here. Pretty nice. I like it. So before we can... Oh my god, it's the most irritating guy in the world. Oh, yeah. See, what's going to be nice, this is going to be my sniper tower. Nah. Oh, we didn't cement these up here. Let's fill this in. I'm going to have to get some cement. And yeah. So, I don't... You know, this whole Nintendo thing doesn't affect me at all. I'm not going to be doing Nintendo games. Oh, jeez. Probably ever. I remember when the Wii U first came out, I was definitely got caught up in the hype for the Wii U and went all over the place to pick it up, but I couldn't find it. This was back in 2000 something, 2006 when it first came out, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And ultimately, just, you know, sort of that phase left me, and now you can buy Wii U's by the truckload now. But yeah, that was like the only time. And like the Wii U, I know it's got some good games, and It has games I may be interested for my kids per se to play, and watching them play, that might be a good time. Oh god, this is so irritating. But as actually streaming Nintendo games, I really have no interest. But I wonder how that's going to affect sort of Twitch Nintendo players and stuff too. I don't know. I think it's a huge mistake, and I think ultimately, you know, you're basically cutting off your marketing arm, and you're getting all this free publicity from these YouTubers, and ultimately, you know, I mean, they're being compensated. When you think about it, you're not paying for that marketing, but someone else is paying. YouTube's paying for that marketing, but now you're saying you want a cut of that marketing. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck, Nintendo. You're gonna need it. You know, but you know something from another perspective. Here, let's try to place this door. Is that this is Nintendo? This has always been Nintendo. This isn't like a big shock. You know, back in the video game crash of after, you know, everyone was coming out with Atari games. All right, here we go. Ready? Which button do I press? Do I press left or right? Right. Yes! Awesome. I'm so happy. Look at this. Awesome. You know, part of me wants to make this floor concrete. You know, it just feels like it should be concrete. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think. And look at this. We got a house, folks. Wow. This is nice. I have to say, this is definitely... This place right here feels more satisfactory than building anything I've made in Minecraft. You know, because we dug this all out. We then cemented this all in, and we put all the materials. So that is that's a nice achievement. Well, it's gonna get a little late, but let me just close up with my thoughts on Nintendo. Is that they've always been like this. They've always been really bad when it comes to their, or really protective when they came to their IP. Back when I want to say, what was that? After the video game crash, basically Nintendo came out with the Nintendo... I gotta figure out, is this gonna be the... yeah, so we're just gonna extend the walls over here. So Nintendo came up with their you know, a Nintendo Entertainment System, and they decided to have this certification system that no one could make a game for it. You would have to go through Nintendo. So, and this was a good thing, because at the time... I don't know if any of you guys were playing Atari games. So let me see. If any of you guys were playing Atari games. But they were really bad. They were coming up with some really... I mean, anyone and their mother who could come up with an Atari game came up with one and just published it on the system. Now, that was nice from a developer standpoint, because, you know... I think I think this is going to be on the inside like this. I'm still going to have to double fortify this. So that's going to be the inside wall. Like so. And then we're going to come up with the outside wall. And the outside wall is only going to be like too high. Oh my god, these guys are killing me. So Nintendo was was very protective of their IP. And, you know, again, I don't disagree with that. At the time, there was a lot of crap being released, and everyone was suffering. So they said, you have to come through us to make a game on our system. And that kind of set the ball rolling for consoles since then. But since they came up with this IP, they got really, really crazy controlling about it. And I don't know too much about the history. I should have just hit shift like that. Okay, looks like this guy's getting close. But from what I understand, I mean, they were actually sued, or there was a antitrust case put against them, which they lost. I don't know. I don't know the history too much. But from the point of a consumer, I remember reading about games that were having to be censored. For instance, Wolfenstein 3D, when it came out for the Super Nintendo, had to remove, like, I think the dogs were, they had to remove all the Nazi propaganda. I mean, that you can kind of understand, because as you were running through, there was all these swastikas everywhere. They didn't want kids playing that. And yeah, that's understand. That was a mature game. I mean, I would argue that if you don't want that imagery or, you know, the game to be in there, then don't have it for the system. You know, don't approve it for the system. But again, now you're adding additional content control, whatever. So they were doing that. They made the dogs that you shoot in the game, they turned them into giant rats. And I don't think you were now fighting the Nazis, you were fighting someone else. So they made some significant changes in that game. And that was just one example of what Nintendo's done. So they've been always, I mean, since growing up, I've always seen them as being very protective of their IP. And this is just a natural extension of that. But again, I think they're out of step. I think they're out of touch. And this is kind of like this is just an overreach. And at the end, you know, they're cutting off a huge source of sort of exposure for their games. Because let's face it, the Wii U isn't doing exactly, it's doing better than it used to be doing, but it's not doing great. And you're going to want people to see the great games. And if you're removing the incentive for YouTubers to show it to people, then yeah, I don't know what you're doing there, folks. You're cutting off your nose. Cut it off your nose to spite your face. All right. Well, I think that's going to be doing it for this episode. I think I'm not thinking this through while I was talking here. I want to add some windows. Probably not a good idea. But I do like to see this wonderful landscape. And yeah, well, that's it for now. And again, we've come a long way. It's awesome. This is an awesome build so far. This is my mini build, everyone. The big build's coming next. So with that, I am going to just log off, and we'll call it the end of an episode. As always, thank you for watching this Let's Play, and I hope you've been enjoying it so far. And I will catch you in the next episode.